Have you ever noticed that most people are living a lie? Yeah, that's right. From a young age, we're taught that life is about following rules, waiting for the right moment, and avoiding risks. But take a look around. How many people are actually happy? How many are really living the life they want? The truth is, you've been programmed to fail. The system wants you to believe that being good enough is all it takes for things to fall into place. But here's the shocker, being good isn't enough. And if you're feeling frustrated, exhausted, or on the verge of giving up, deep down, you already know that. The pain you're feeling right now, whether it's in your job, your relationships, or that goal you just can't seem to reach, is proof that you're stuck in something that isn't working. And you know what's even crazier? The solution is right in front of you, but you're too busy following the rules to see it. Forget everything they told you about being patient and waiting for the right time. The truth is, you're closer to victory than you think. But victory doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take action, who break the rules. So, tell me, are you gonna keep following the plan others laid out for you? Or are you finally gonna take control? Because I promise you, in less time than you think, everything can change. And no, I'm not talking about magic solutions or shortcuts. I'm talking about real change that starts the moment you decide to break this cycle. Are you ready for that? Life isn't always gonna be clear and easy. And you already know that because you faced long, dark, lonely nights. But what no one might have told you is that this darkness isn't here to destroy you, it's here to test you. You feel stuck, paralyzed, thinking there's nowhere left to go. And this is where most people give up. Because when the pain is heavy and progress seems non-existent, it's easy to think, why keep going? But let me tell you something that few have the guts to admit. The progress you don't see is the most important kind. Have you ever wondered why, when things get tough, your mind automatically tries to convince you to stop? That's your own weakness trying to take over. And the reality is, if you stop, if you give in, you're letting that weakness win. The only thing separating those who succeed from those who fall behind is the ability to keep moving even when everything around them is falling apart. Every step you take, even if it feels small, you're defeating failure, you're conquering fear. The darkness can't extinguish your light unless you let it. A lot of people talk about success like it's this clear, bright path, but the truth is, real progress happens in the dark, when no one's watching, when no one believes in you. It's in that moment, when the storms are the strongest, that you have to keep going. It's not about running, it's not about getting there fast. It's about not stopping. You know why? Because the only real defeat is giving up. The only way to fail is if you stop trying. Darkness only wins when you surrender. And I get it, we're going through tough times. You feel like you've given it everything you've got. But that's exactly when the next step matters the most. That's exactly when you need to keep moving. Because every step you take, even in the middle of the darkness, is a step closer to getting out of it. Pain is a fact of life. And honestly, you already know that. The question is, what are you gonna do with that pain? Because most people run from it. They avoid it, pretend it doesn't exist, or worse, let it define them. But here's the truth no one likes to hear. Pain is necessary. It's the price you pay to grow. You want to be someone better? Then get ready to suffer. Because life isn't going to hand you anything for free. Every victory, every achievement, every step forward you want comes with pain. Look around. What do you see? People frustrated, defeated, complaining that life isn't fair. And you want to know why they're like that? because they're running from something they should never avoid: discomfort. Everyone wants the rewards, but few are willing to pay the price. The reality is simple: there's no growth without pain. Failure teaches you more than any victory ever will. Every mistake, every defeat, every fall you go through pushes you to be stronger, more resilient, more determined. And if you think you can avoid that, you're fooling yourself. You've got to stop seeing pain as the enemy. Pain is your guide. It shows you where your weaknesses are, where you need to improve. Pain gives you clarity, makes you see what really matters. If you're afraid of failing, afraid of being criticized, afraid of being rejected, then you're paralyzed. And paralysis is the biggest failure there is. The pain of trying and failing is way smaller than the pain of never trying at all. What's gonna define your life isn't how much you avoid suffering, but how you handle it. Because here's the truth: there's no gain without pain. And as long as you're running from it, you're also running from your own growth. So, what's it gonna be? Keep hiding from the pain, or use it as fuel to become unstoppable? You can't control everything that happens to you. That's the raw, ugly truth. And if you're still fighting against that, let me tell you now, the fight is breaking you. What happens around you, the situations that feel unfair, the people who let you down, none of that is in your hands. But what is? Your reactions. That's what's yours. And you know what's worse? Most people don't even realize they're being controlled by the very things they can't control. What do you do when everything falls apart? When the project fails, when the relationship crumbles, when life knocks you down? Most people explode, lose their cool, and react emotionally. And what does that bring? More chaos, more frustration. Have you noticed how the cycle keeps repeating? You react badly, get stressed, and it just makes everything worse. That's not strength. That's weakness. And that weakness is running your life. Let me hit you with a hard truth. The only real control you have is over yourself. You'll never control every external factor, but you can always control how you respond to them. And that's where the real power lies. While the world around you may be burning down, you've got the ability to stay steady. And when you do that, you set yourself apart from the crowd. You become different, stronger, more strategic. Here's a little secret. It's not about not feeling anger, frustration, or pain. It's about what you do with those feelings. Are you gonna let them control you, blind you, make you make stupid decisions? Or are you gonna stop, breathe, and act with clarity? That's the difference between those who fail and those who win. Anger, fear, desperation, they're all human emotions, but letting them take the wheel of your life is the biggest mistake you can make. And one more thing, control isn't easy. It takes practice, it takes mental strength. But once you master it, nothing can stop you. When the world tries to pull you down, you keep your focus and move forward. And that's when you start gaining the upper hand. Here's something most people never realize: you're closer than you think. Life, the struggles, the disappointments, they all have a cruel way of making you believe you're still so far from what you want. But let me tell you the truth, you're just a few steps away. You just can't see it because you're stuck in your own fear, your own doubt. And this is exactly where most people quit, right at the final stretch. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to throw it all away? How many times have you thought it wasn't worth it anymore, that all the effort was pointless? That's the trick of a weak mind, convincing you that you're not gonna make it, that you're too far away. But you know what's ironic? When things get the hardest, it's because you're getting closer. It's the last test, the final hurdle before crossing the finish line. If you stop now, all the ground you've covered will be wasted. All the pain you went through, all the sacrifice, all the fight, it'll be for nothing. And you know that. But your mind's trying to sabotage you. It wants to protect you from discomfort, wants to keep you in the safe zone. But here's the truth that few people understand. The safe zone has never been where victory happens. Victory happens on that thin line between imminent failure and unexpected success. And you're standing on that line right now. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you been on the edge of success and took a step back? How many times have you let fear stop you when all you needed to do was hold on just a little longer? This is the moment to test your real strength. The distance between where you are now and where you want to be is way smaller than you think. So, what's it gonna be? You gonna stop again? Or are you gonna push through to the end? You've come this far, and now's not the time to give up. You're so close. Now's the time to hold on tight and see what you're really made of. Look, there's no escaping the truth. Real change takes courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to face that fear and move forward anyway. If you really want to break the cycle and live the life you deserve, you've got to be willing to challenge the status quo, to question what you've been taught, and to do what most people don't have the guts to do. You're already at the tipping point, the place where most people give up. But you've got the chance to set yourself apart. The life you want is within your reach, and the only thing left is for you to take that next step. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's gonna demand more from you than anything you've ever tried before. But that's exactly where the magic happens. The pain and discomfort you're feeling right now are clear signs that you're about to cross the finish line. Are you just gonna stand there, watching time slip by, or are you gonna get up and fight for what you know you can achieve? Success isn't a privilege reserved for the few. It's a decision made by those who are willing to fight for what they believe in. Every day you procrastinate, every moment you hesitate, is a missed opportunity. Now's the time to act, to defy the odds, to swim against the current. So, take that step. Break the chains. Embrace the pain. And see what happens when you finally decide you won't settle for less. Victory belongs to those who have the courage to change, and you're closer than you think. Get ready to transform your life. Change starts now.